Of course, the big story of the day is the latest US CPI number, which has increased more than expected in March. It's mainly down to the higher costs of oil and so on. And this has cast further doubt on whether the Fed is going to start cutting interest rates in June or not. CPI rising 0.4% last month. How have markets reacted to that news? I imagine not very well.
Not great at all, Johnny. I mean, CPI here year over year came in at a whopping 3.5%. And they revised, expectations, as you mentioned. Energy prices have risen. And so there was some expectation that, that would affect the inflation figure. But we got 3.5%. And this really throws a wrench in the recent kind of sunshine and rainbows event for the stock market. We've seen the stock market just basically straight up. Today, we've seen a bit of a sell-off. We're down around the time recording, 1.1, 1.2% down on the S&P 500 and the Nasdaq, respectively. These are big sells for the market here recently. It's been so, volatility has been so low, so these are impressive moves. That being said, this is following a jobs report that was also very strong. And I think that if we're talking currency, world side, if you're talking about, looking at the euro and the pound, which I know a lot of our listeners are keen on keeping an eye on, the dollar index is back to 105. This is a straight shot move from its recent pullback and now crossing above its, last several month highs. If this persists, it actually kind of makes sense why the dollar is so strong. Think about it from the other central bank's perspective. If they have been trying to wait as long as they can for the Fed to start cutting rates, but if the inflation story in the US continues to be stubbornly high, while inflation in Europe and the UK and other places does start to make progress, if that is the story that we're going into, if we see the economies of those places really cooling down, meanwhile the US economy is staying stubborn, that paints a picture for dollar bullishness, and that's been the recent story and arguably why the dollar is up pretty substantially against its counterparts here today. I'm looking at the euro. We're down about 1% on the day. You've got the pound USD, just shy of 0.9% down on the day. And these are big moves for currencies. The least of which is definitely, not the least of which is the dollar yen. It's above 152. And this is a significant level of resistance for listeners. If you've got a chart open, check out the daily chart. You can see we just crossed over that 152 level, which has been holding price at bay for some time. Now, the Bank of Japan, of course, we could go into a whole spiel about how they've wanted to keep their currency strong against the dollar, but a hot CPI takes the cake in terms of precedence on where this thing goes next. The dollar yen is up substantially today at 152.77 at the time of recording. Again, what this is painting a picture of is, maybe the easiest way to look at it is look at the 2-year yield today. It is up 4% on the day at 4.93. The 10-year yield also ticked up to 4.5. And the reason I'm going through so many charts and so many markets here is it's a clear, decisive move in terms of what the market is saying. The market is saying inflation is probably not going away as easily as people thought. And that could lead to interest rate cuts being postponed. And some are even arguing, Johnny, that we don't see rate cuts at all here in the US this year. And if that is the case, the dollar can remain strong, I think, relative to its peers, and perhaps the stock market cools down for a little bit.
Indeed. And of course, these figures don't necessarily reflect the even further rising cost of oil, and that's set to continue. We've got Brent crude just below $90 a barrel today, which is where it's been more or less over the last couple of weeks or so. But I imagine that markets are concerned that isn't going to come down anytime soon. And there's a lag, isn't there, with oil prices? And even though US CPI is up, the concern is that it may go even higher.
Yes, and that's the thing, is this is throwing in another flavor, I guess, to the mix, because what we see here is that rising oil prices were not something that, of course, the market saw coming. Oil prices were down, at least in US, WTI were trading around 70, 75 a barrel for some time. And this recent explosion in price really challenges the narrative that inflation can continue to come down, so easily. as you know, Johnny, and as our listeners probably know, energy prices rising means everything at the store ends up being more costly because, of course, shipping and transportation and trucking and all that stuff becomes more expensive, and that gets passed on to the consumer. So today we got our first evidence of that. Tomorrow we have another key figure. We have the producer price index, which wholesale prices will be very important, and in fact have been increasingly important in recent months just because it has some contributing factors in there to the Fed's preferred measurement of inflation, PCE, right? So some of the factors that are in PCE are in PPI and in CPI. So we'll get some more figures out of that tomorrow. But again, these rising oil prices are definitely a red flag to markets. As long as they remain up in these areas, it is going to be inflationary to some degree. And with a strong economy on top of that right now, with jobs data coming in so strong, it's no question why more interest rate sensitive areas in the market are down on the day. Not the least of which is actually the Russell 2000, which is more small cap names, which are more debt sensitive because a lot of them do have more amounts of debt or they're less profitable. Other areas like unprofitable technology names, these areas are going to probably struggle if interest rates are not coming down. There is also a side story that would be very scary, and let's all hope that this does not happen, is the scenario that inflation not only bottoms out here, but it truly starts to rise again. If that happens, we may be in store for rate hikes, and nobody wants to hear that. Nobody wants that to happen. But it's a reality. If oil prices stay high, the economy stays strong, the Fed is very insistent on getting that inflation figure down, and they reiterated recently, Jerome Powell reiterated our target is 2%, not 3, not 2.5, but 2, and he can't say that in the same line as also ignoring all the data that's coming out showing inflation is stubborn. If you enjoyed this video from the Market Insights Market Pulse podcast, you can listen to the full episode by clicking the link down below in the description. You can find us on your favorite podcasting apps, and again, we post several times a week, so if you're looking for market updates throughout the week, this is the place to be. Whether you're in the car on the way to work or something like that, make sure to tune in to get the latest. Thank you very much for watching. We'll see you on the next one.